Welcome to myiPhoneRepair.com iPhone 4 screen repair video. Today we will be teaching how to repair the GSM AT&T iPhone 4 screen. This particular phone has a non-functional home button as well. So we will be teaching how to replace the home button flex ribbon as part of the repair. The very first step in any iPhone repair or cell phone repair is to power off the device. The iPhone 4 has two screws on the bottom of the phone. Some phones have regular Phillips screws and others will have a 5-point pentalobe screw installed. You will need to order a pentalobe or Phillips screwdriver off our website for this repair. Once you've removed both screws, you can simply slide the rear glass off the phone. Using an ESD-safe Phillips screwdriver, remove the screws as in the video. Make sure to place them in the appropriate order so that you can easily screw them back in place. Be careful because every screw is different, so do not lose track of where you removed them from. You can now remove the top plate covering the motherboard. Removing this plate exposes the flex ribbons that connect the digitizer, the LCD, the power button, the camera, the silent button, and the audio jack. Remove each one very carefully. One practice that we highly recommend is to test your replacement screen prior to installation. The last thing you want is to complete an installation only to find out that you have a damaged screen. Believe me, this has happened to us before. To do this, you will need to unplug the LCD and digitizer flex ribbons attached to the motherboard, as you saw in the video. Next, you'll unpack your replacement screen and attach it to the main board. Once the LCD is attached, you can power up your iPhone and test your screen. Once the phone is powered up, go ahead and slide to unlock it. Open any application with a keyboard and test each letter of the keyboard. It's very important to test every single individual letter and character on your keyboard to test that the screen fully works. Sometimes you will receive parts that will have a dead spot on them, and this is the best time to make sure that the screen is fully functional. Okay, great. Everything looks good on this screen. Let's power off the iPhone and continue with the repair. You are being warned. You must power off your phone before starting the repair. If you leave your phone turned on, you're going to run into some problems and you could short circuit the motherboard. Go ahead and remove the test screen and continue with the repair. Next, you will remove the battery. On the bottom part of the motherboard, you'll see a battery terminal. Remove the screw holding down the battery in place. There will be 4 total screws to remove off the motherboard. 2 more, as you see right now, that are holding down the dock USB port. And the last one has a round white sticker on it. This sticker is a water sensor. If it's pink, the phone's had water damage. If it's white, then the phone has had no water damage. Next, unclip the battery terminal, as you see in the video, and remove the battery from right to left. Very carefully slide it up. The battery is glued to the chassis of the phone, so you will hear a little bit of cracking, which is normal. It's just the glue coming undone. Next, you will remove the antenna from the very bottom of the board, as you see here. Use a fine tip tweezer to carefully lift the antenna from the motherboard. Do the same with the charging port. Once you slide the charging port down, slide it to the left and you'll uncover another screw that's holding down the main board. Next, you will remove the camera by lifting up the flex ribbon attached to the motherboard, as you see in the video, and the camera will come right up. Remove the top 3 flex ribbons attached to the motherboard. And next, you'll need a small flathead screwdriver. On the top right hand side of the motherboard, there's a screw holding down the board. This is the very last screw holding down the board. Remove it. And last but not least, you will have to remove the SIM tray. If you do not remove the SIM tray, the motherboard will not come off of the case. The SIM tray is on the side. Insert a safety pin or even a dental pick, as we're using in the video. Push it in and the tray will eject. Removing the motherboard is very simple. Move the antenna on the bottom, and from the very bottom of the board, lift it up very gently and it will come loose. Remove the vibrator from the top right hand side of the phone. There are 2 screws holding it in place. A really small screw and an extra long screw. There are corner screws on each corner of the phone holding down the glass to the frame. Remove each one. You will also need to remove the speaker assembly. There's one last screw holding it down on the bottom right hand corner, as you see in the video. Now that that's removed, you can continue removing the last of the 4 corner screws. There are 6 more screws holding down the LCD assembly to the frame of the phone. You don't need to fully remove these screws. Rather, twist them about half a turn just to loosen them from the frame. Again, these screws are really small, so don't remove them completely. Just twist them about half a turn. Using a plastic case opener tool, slide it underneath the LCD and the frame and gently lift up the LCD. This LCD is glued to the frame, so it'll take a little bit of prying, but once it's loose, the entire LCD will flip from the bottom up. To slide the LCD and digitizer ribbons out of the frame, and your LCD is removed. Next, you will need to remove all the broken shards of glass. This step is very important. The glass is held on the frame with double-sided adhesive. Go ahead and remove the glass as well as the adhesive. If you leave the adhesive and any bits of glass, your new screen will not fit in place correctly. Very next step is to reattach the speaker grill. The speaker grill is attached to the old LCD, so make sure to remove it. Clean it with a cotton swab and a little bit of rubbing alcohol, and place it right back on the frame. Make sure to remove any bits of glass left on the frame. If you don't remove them and there are any pieces of glass, the LCD won't fit into place, or you could break the LCD during installation. Make sure to remove any glass underneath the home button. As you work your way around the case and you clean out all the dirt and glass, peel back the home button and clean underneath it. Sometimes little bits of glass can get stuck in there, and after installation your home button will stick. So clean around the home button and underneath it. In this next step, we will remove the actual home button flex ribbon. Flip your phone around, and inside you'll see an FPC connector that slides up. Slide it up and pull back the home button flex ribbon. Now you can easily pull out the home button along with the ribbon. Simply peel off the home flex ribbon off the home button. The replacement ribbon will have a wax piece on the back. Peel that off, exposing the double-sided adhesive, and align the home button in its correct direction with the flex ribbon. Once the home button is assembled, slide the ribbon through the case. We recommend leaving the home button unplugged from the FPC connector on the other side. This allows room for the home button to move during the installation of the LCD screen. When installing the LCD screen, very simply pass the LCD and digitizer ribbons through the groove on the top of the case. Pay very close attention that the LCD and digitizer cables run all the way through the case. They have tabs on them at the top that have to go all the way through. If they don't go all the way through, you'll have to reinstall the LCD. The LCD frame has anchors that have to slide into place behind the small screws and their washers. Make sure that as you close the LCD, these anchors go behind both the washer and the screw. There are 6 of these screws. If they don't go behind the washer and the screw, the screen won't go all the way in. So align everything properly and the screen will snap into place. Once the screen is in place, double check that your home button is clicking correctly and that it's not sticking. After having done that, flip the phone over and screw down the 6 screws with their washers. Make sure these screws are screwed down really tight because they do act as part of the antenna and the reception of your phone. As you can see in the video here, the screw and the washer are both in front of the anchor holding down the frame. This is the proper alignment for these 6 screws. If that anchor has fallen in between the washer and the screw, then the frame's not sitting correctly. Make your proper adjustments and you're on your way to a successful repair. The next step is to install the 4 corner screws of the phone. As you install these screws, hold down the LCD so that it's sitting all the way down on its case. Install the speaker assembly back in its place. In the next part, we will install the motherboard back into the case. Make sure to bend back the LCD and the digitizer cables to allow room for the board to fit into place. The board will need to be installed from the top down. Make sure that your antenna is away from the motherboard to allow room for the board to fit into place. The very top of the board has to sit in front of the metal bracket, as you can see in the video. If it's sitting on top of this bracket, the board will not fit in place correctly. Next, you can start screwing back all the screws that hold the motherboard into the frame. You can now continue and plug in the flex ribbons for the power button, volume button, and vibrators. You don't need to apply too much pressure. As long as they're aligned correctly on the board, they will snap into place. Do the same for the camera, the LCD, and the digitizer ribbon. Now you can put the plate back on that holds down all the ribbons in their place. The antenna ribbon is a bit tricky. You need to align it exactly on the connector on the motherboard and apply very little pressure. If you apply too much pressure, you will bend the connector on the board, and that connector is not repairable. After having done so, attach the USB dock cable to the board and continue screwing down the rest of the screws. the next step, you will install the vibrator back into place. The very long screw on the left and the small screw on the right. Make sure to screw both of these down really tight so that the vibrator makes contact and it functions properly. Next, you will install the battery back in its place. Simply attach the battery terminal onto the motherboard. Do the same with the plate that runs across the charging port. Screw that back in place. Screw the battery terminal in its place, and you're almost done. Make sure to install your SIM card back in its place. And the very last part is to turn the phone over, install the rear glass onto the phone. When you put the rear glass on the case of the phone, put it on top and slide it down. You might need to put a little bit of force to slide it down all the way. Put in the 2 screws and you've successfully repaired your first iPhone 4. We want to take this chance to thank you for tuning into our online videos. If you have any questions, you can email us at support@myiPhoneRepair.com.